Alright, so you've been looking to make a move to Marquette, Michigan, and you're wondering, what does it really cost to live there? Is it really as affordable as it looks? Can I really just move up there and just not spend a whole lot of money? Well, today we're going to cover all of that for Marquette, Michigan. We're going to go through, we're going to show you all the expenses, and we're going to go over some that might catch you off guard when you're considering a move to Marquette, Michigan. So make sure you watch till the end, where we'll cover all things that you should know about cost of living in Marquette, Michigan. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Travis Juntti with the Living in Marquette, Michigan team. If you would like to know what it's like to live in Marquette, Michigan, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the little notification bell to make sure you don't miss a video. And look, like I said, I'm a licensed agent here in Michigan, helping you make a move to Marquette, Michigan. All my contact information is down below. Call, text, email, whatever is best for you. Days, nights, weekends, I got your back. Now let's get right to that content. And in making this video, I just wanted to preface this. What I'm doing is I'm using a lot of the data from a website called bestplaces.net. We're going to kind of go off of a scale of 100, where United States is 100 and Michigan is on there, and then Marquette, Michigan, we're going to go over where they rank as far as versus Michigan versus the United States. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first and foremost, I bet it's important to know, where the heck is Marquette, Michigan? Well, let's dive right into the map so you have a little better idea. And with that being said, I got a video up here that goes over Marquette, Michigan in a little map video so you understand more in detail, but I just want to show you real quick, where is Marquette, Michigan, so you know for the sake of this video. So Marquette, Michigan, this is zoomed out far from the map. Here's the state of Michigan. Marquette is here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, way up in the central area. A lot of people think that Marquette and the Upper Peninsula is part of Wisconsin, but it is not. It is actually part of Lower Peninsula, Michigan, all making up two different peninsulas for the state of Michigan. We're sitting right on Lake Superior, the beautiful Lake Superior. That's why a lot of people love it here in Marquette. So we'll zoom in real quick. Marquette is not a large town, and we're sitting right about 20,000 people here in the city of Marquette. There's 5 to 7,000 in these little towns here, Negaunee and Ishpeming. So that kind of gives you an idea of Marquette as a whole. And Marquette, Michigan has an average income that sits right around that kind of $50,000. So it's not the highest income area, but it's certainly not the lowest. And I think that kind of trends upwards as we go, further down. Obviously, for the most part, income does start to go up, but we do also have the remote workers that might come from another area that might have a little bit higher salary, that might be, help nudge up that price up a little bit as well. So first and foremost, I want to talk about, the grocery, the things that we buy, right? So realistically, this not a lot of excitement here. Marquette ranks at about 95 versus 100 for United States. That really isn't a big variable. Michigan as a whole is about 94. So that's not really that exciting. The cost of groceries is fairly consistent. You do have your smaller places like, Econo Foods, Super One Foods, stuff like that. You do have your Walmart. You do have, Target, where you can buy groceries as well. And Meijer. Don't forget Meijer. So you do have options to buy some groceries. You do have some places like right in the town of Marquette or in the city of Marquette if you're looking for more of that organic touch. So grocery, like I said, it's not a very exciting thing to talk about, but we do have grocery options. You do have things that you can get different places. We don't have like your Sam's Club or Costco where you can buy in bulk. We do have a Gordon food service, but Gordon Foods doesn't really have a very large variety of things, so people don't really frequent that a whole lot. So that just kind of gives you a quick idea on the grocery. And heck, what do I know? I'm not the guy that goes out grocery shopping, so I'd have to consult my wife on some of the grocery options and what the actual costs are for that. But hey, guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? Next thing I wanted to touch on was the healthcare, and this is a big thing, right? We do have a large hospital here in town, but if you watched any of my other videos, I do talk about how some of the specialized healthcare is something that you have to drive out of town for a lot of times to get that specialized healthcare. That's why here on bestplaces.net they rank it at 120 out of 100, so that is higher than your national average. That's not going to be that high for absolutely everybody, but it is higher than average, primarily due to the fact that a lot of times you have to go seek out that healthcare, or sometimes it's because of the monopoly that some of these places can charge a little bit more for their services versus what you might find when there's more competition in a bigger city. So keep that in mind when we're talking about healthcare. Now, if that's not a big deal, if that's not a deterrent, then so be it. Not that big of a deal, but it's something that you should be aware of. Now, next on the list is the utilities. So utilities do tend to be a little bit higher, here in Marquette, Michigan, Marquette County. So there's different things. Some people might live in the city where they have public water. They might live in the country, or they might have well and septic. So there's different costs associated with those things. Keep in mind, if you are on well and septic, you might have a little bit lower costs, over a course of time, because you're not paying monthly or quarterly or whatever it might be for your bills for public water and sewer. But if you do have to replace those things, that can come at a large capital cost. So make sure that you're prepared for that. But a lot of times with utilities, being a remote area, it's harder to get a lot of these utilities there. A lot of the infrastructure isn't the same. We do have large Marquette Board of Light and Power. We do have UPCO Power. But overall, you have different things that come into factor for utilities. Whether it's electric, gas, propane, stuff like that. But it just so overall, Marquette ranks at about 115% or 115 versus the national average of 100 in the United States. But that's due to the remote factor of living in Marquette, Michigan and the Upper Peninsula as a whole. Now, next on the list, I wanted to hit up the transportation. Now, transportation, Marquette's given a 70 for transportation, 70 versus 100 for the United States. And I think that's partially due to, a lot of things being a lot closer compact, where if you're commuting to work, typically you're only driving for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on where you live. Whereas if you're living in a larger metropolitan area, a lot of times your commute could be 45 minutes to an hour. So your commute time is a lot less. Some people that are living in town, they might be biking to work or whatever it might be. So that has a factor in transportation. I mean, of course, we are in the state of Michigan. Our car insurance is higher. Our gas up here is higher. So that does factor into the transportation cost. Overall, I mean, it's still going to be considerably less expensive because you're just not driving as much, to get from A to B. A lot of people they typically stay within Marquette County unless they're going somewhere for a long weekend, or if they're going, as I mentioned above, if they got to go to specialized medical care outside of the area, or if they got to drive down to Green Bay to go to Sam's Club or whatever it might be, right? So overall, but yeah, that's why they rank transportation at a lower 70. Hey, I hope you guys are getting some value from this. Again, this is Travis Juntti with the Living in Marquette, Michigan team. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified anytime we put out new content, hit the little bell. Make sure you get notified anytime we put out new stuff. And hey, again, I am a licensed agent in the state of Michigan. Me and my team are the #1 relocation team in Marquette, Michigan. We'd love to help you make that move. All my information is down below. Reach out, call, text, email. Let's get in touch and let's get that conversation started. Last but not least, I wanted to cover the housing. Like I said, I am a licensed agent in Michigan. Why not cover the housing a little bit? And what I'd like to do is kind of go on a more public-facing website to kind of help you get an idea of the different what the housing availability is in some of our major areas of Marquette County. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the computer, and what I chose to use is Realtor.com. I did do a little circle here. As you can see, it covers Marquette, it covers Negaunee, covers Ishpeming, Harvey. So it does cover those areas. Right here, I mean, I didn't really filter down the price. I just selected homes and condos and townhomes. I did hide the pending homes. Right now, with this list, right now we're showing 30 homes. So if you look on bestplaces.net, I'm coming down here. The median home cost is at $259,200 for Marquette. For state of Michigan, it's at $218, and the United States is $338. Certainly keep that in mind if you are making a move to Marquette, Michigan. I mean, let's say you're coming from an area, say like California or New York or Miami, whatever it might be. You are going to spend considerably less making a move over to Marquette, Michigan. But if you're coming from a small Midwest town, small rural town, you might be spending a little bit more making a move to Marquette, Michigan. So just be prepared for that. And with that average price point of Marquette, Michigan, that's not saying that most of your homes are priced at $250 or $300. That's not saying that at all. That's kind of the challenging part about making a move to Marquette, Michigan. And the other thing, like I said, we are the #1 relocation team in Marquette, Michigan. We are facing a shortage of inventory. So there is a challenge when moving to Marquette. It's hard to just move here or come here and find a place to live and that's it. A lot of times people, it's a long-term solution where you might be finding a place to rent and then look while you're here. And I do suggest before making that move to Marquette, Michigan, that you understand the 4 seasons that we have here. That's not this video. I do have that video up here. But anyways, let's go real quick. So we're looking at some of the homes. Today we're sitting in the middle of March here. Some of these homes have been on the market for a little bit, but here's some of the new homes you see here. This one's in Marquette, actually over in Harvey. So Ishpeming, you're typically going to get a little bit lower price as you go over here in Ishpeming. Ishpeming and Negaunee. But as you go up into this way, if you're getting a more private areas, you'll see this 6651 Holyoke. That's going to cost considerably more. But a lot of these areas that you get, if you're getting a little bit more property, it's going to cost a little bit more. In town, obviously, you're going to get a little bit less. But Marquette as a whole is going to cost quite a bit. As you can see with this home, just right in Harvey, I mean, it's on 3.5 acre lot, 1,200 square feet, $350,000. There are a few condos, newer condos in the area, but like I said, you're paying, you know, $600,000, but you're right close to the lake on Lakeshore Boulevard. Here's another house right in Marquette. As you can see, the little white dot in the corner here. When I go to that, I mean, that's right in the city of Marquette, $415,000. Here's another condo for sale, just a small little condo there, 1,100 square feet. You know, that could be a good option. That's kind of right in town a little bit. Here's another house in Ishpeming, and keep in mind, a lot of these homes in Ishpeming and Negaunee, and Marquette, city of Marquette, for instance, a lot of these homes are a little bit older homes, you know, due to the old mining days, you know, where they built these homes. So they are on different basements, you know, when they might have stone basements, when they might have big cedar logs or big logs in the basement. So a lot of these homes are a little bit older, so you have to keep that in mind as well. You know, here's one that looks cheap on the surface, but it just might not be a fit for you. You know, recent price reduction of $150. Thank you very much. Here's another one in Marquette, small little home, 1,000 square feet. I mean, $265 in the city of Marquette. Here's one, you know, that's right on the north side of town. This is a beautiful place to live up here on Jenny Lane, $750,000. Here's another one here. It looks like it needs a lot of work, $70,000, but it's over in Ishpeming, so it's one of those things. You just got to make sure that you know what you're getting into. You know, here in Marquette, this is off of 492. This is a nice little private area up in here. But like I said, here we're sitting at $450. And the thing, a lot of these homes are having some price drops because, you know, that they can get what they want. But make sure that you understand, you know, we are the #1 relocation team, but we also do a lot of the listing side. So having that conversation to make sure that you're taken care of the best. All my information is down below. Travis Juntti, living in Marquette, Michigan. You'll see here we are, Ishpeming here again, over on the west side of the area, $150,000. Here we are, let's see, a small little home on some acreage over here in Ishpeming. But a lot of these places, you know, these get a little further. If you're looking to commute into Marquette, these might take, you know, 20 minutes to a half hour. And the other thing we talk about on some of the other channels, you might have a lot of snow up that way too. So keep that in mind. More of these homes in Ishpeming, they're going to be a little bit lower price. Here's that Holyoke house that I was talking about on a whole bunch of acreage. That's a really awesome one if you're looking for some acreage. Here's a new construction home here in Marquette. Here again, Marquette, in the city of Marquette, 3-bed, 1-bath. Most people aren't looking for 1 bath. So I mean, if that's something that you're okay with, keep that in mind. But like I said, I mean, a lot of these places will need a little bit of work at that price point. Here's a nice newer home on some acreage over in Ishpeming. Like I said, a lot of these places up in here are going to be a lot of them will be larger homes. Some of them might be on lakes, some of them might be on acreage. So you'll be paying a lot more money if you have a home in that area, which is a lot of people where they desire to be too. So here's another, you know, home in the city area there, $1.7 million. Anyways, I can really go over a whole bunch of these. I mean, this one's, like I said, this one's on a lake. This is a beautiful place, but we're sitting at $2.9 million. You know, I'd love to help you in that, but a lot of people just can't afford that. You know, Grove Street. There's a lot of beautiful homes, but there's just not a ton of availability. Like I said, there's not a lot of new construction going on. Here's a new construction home in Ishpeming, but we're sitting at $280. I mean, that's above the average price point, and that's in Ishpeming. So people are always wondering, you know, if I buy a home in Ishpeming for $280, what's going to happen with the values? Are they going to go over time? You know, that's a challenging thing with this market. You know, right now we just have such a lack of inventory that if you build a nice new home, a lot of times people will come and buy it. There's another beautiful home just right outside the city of Negaunee, you know, $1.2 million. I know this home's been on the market for a little bit as well, but it's on a 125 acre lot. That's a beautiful place to be in Negaunee, where you're close to Marquette, you're in Negaunee schools. So a lot of these places do have some great options. Anyways, I hope you got a little value from that quick little housing tour and just a little conversation of what the affordability looks like, what the cost of living may look like for living in Marquette, Michigan. I know the biggest thing for cost of living is always the housing, right? So if you can't have a house, you're not going to live here. So the cost of living is a big deal. I don't know if you're looking to move here for college, you know, if you're a college student. There is some college housing. There is some, you know, a lot of houses off of College and K and 4th and 3rd that a lot of college students do move into. So you do have some options there. But overall, I mean, like I said, the cost of living is certainly going up. It's a little bit challenging. You know, the inventory is really short. So if you're looking to make a move to Marquette, Michigan, make sure you reach out again. This is Travis Juntti with the Living in Marquette, Michigan team. Until next time, we'll see you on Living in Marquette, Michigan.